Tonight, shock, anger, and calls for calm in Montreal after two Jewish schools were shot at overnight.
Sends a message, a threatening message.
Rising concerns and tensions here in Canada over the war in the Middle East.
For people to be lashing out to each other, that's forgetting who we are.
Air Canada's CEO apologizes after passengers who use wheelchairs told CBC News how they were treated. And the political brawl over the carbon tax. At issue tonight is the growing toll of climate change taking a backseat to the cost of living.
This is The National with Chief Correspondent Adrian Arsenault.
Thanks for joining us. We begin tonight with a disturbing incident in Montreal. Two Jewish schools turned into crime scenes after both were hit by gunfire overnight. Bullet holes through the front of two buildings just a few kilometers apart. Nobody was hurt. Police say they're still trying to establish a link between the two incidents and a motive. So this is all happening as tensions are rising here in Canada over the war unfolding in the Middle East. Alison Northcott now with a fear and a shattered sense of safety.
Police search the grounds of a Jewish school in Montreal as curious students look on from inside. This is one of two schools hit by bullets.
The information that we got at this point is that the gunshots were fired during the night, so there was no one in the school.
Police say it's too early to say if this was a hate crime, but it's something they're looking at. David Oliel studies the Torah at one of the schools.
Sends a message, a threatening message to our lives and to our community. I'm going to keep wearing my kippah proud and not be afraid to live in my home where I grew up.
This comes just days after a synagogue and a Jewish community center west of Montreal were hit with Molotov cocktails. And just hours after violence erupted between two groups of students at Concordia University over the Israel-Hamas war, leading to an arrest and several injuries. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau said the rise in anti-Semitism and Islamophobia are unacceptable.
For people to be lashing out to each other, that's forgetting who we are, and it's forgetting the very values that are most necessary in this time.
This Jewish advocacy organization says the latest incident more than crosses the line.
And this morning, we woke up to the fact that two of our Jewish schools, institutions in which we trust to send our Jewish kids, were shot overnight. And now we have to deal with a different reality.
He pointed to recent pro-Palestinian protests, saying they've become vehicles for hate speech. Asked whether he would consider banning some demonstrations to maintain social peace, Premier François Legault said nothing is ruled out. But at another pro-Palestinian demonstration in Montreal, protesters say they are also feeling the impact of rising tensions and say their actions are not against Jews.
This movement, these protests are not anti-Semitic. We have a lot of Jewish people who are against what's happening.
So, Alison, there is a lot of fear right now. What are officials doing to address it?
Well, the mayor of Montreal and Quebec's premier have both called for calm. Montreal police say they are still reviewing security camera footage at both schools as they continue to look for suspects, and say they're also stepping up their presence around some schools and places of worship.
All right, Alison Northcott in Montreal tonight. Thank you. In the Middle East, Israel's military continues to fight its way into Gaza City as it resists mounting calls for a ceasefire. Israel has agreed to pauses for civilians to escape from the area. A daily procession now of tens of thousands facing the risk of losing both their homes and their lives. Israel's forces continue towards what they say are Hamas strongholds, cutting across the territory to surround Gaza City while they push in from the north. Civilians have just hours a day to make it south along established routes to southern Gaza. Ellen Morrow shows us that what may unite civilians in Gaza and Israel tonight, especially the families of hostages, is fear and a desperate uncertainty.
Hannah Katsir says she misses her family in a video released by Islamic Jihad, a militant group allied to Hamas. Katsir, one of more than 200 hostages being held somewhere in Gaza. The video also shows a 13-year-old boy. It's not clear when the video was taken or under what circumstances.
نعلن استعدادنا
In another video, Islamic Jihad says it's willing to release the pair, but only if unspecified security conditions are met. In Israel, anguish over the hostages' fate deepens. This group is from Kfar Aza, a kibbutz ravaged by Hamas, dozens killed or abducted. They gather together to fly kites that read, "Bring them home."
We are waiting for her to come back to us every minute.
Goni Magan's close friend Agam Goldstein is among the hostages.
She is the most funny, most intelligent, most happy person ever. She's just a big sunshine. It's horrible. It's just a big hole in our community.
Israel has now agreed to daily 4-hour stops in its offensive in the north, what it calls tactical local pauses for humanitarian aid. The UN is looking for more. Talks are underway to get a ceasefire up to 3 days. For now, nowhere is safe. These blasts near the Indonesian hospital north of Gaza City. Inside, panic. Israel says its strikes target Hamas militants and infrastructure. It claims hidden in hospitals, schools, among civilians. U.S. officials now say that Hamas figures may undercount the mounting death toll in Gaza. This mother just found out her son was killed in an airstrike. The fighting has pushed tens of thousands to leave their homes on an evacuation route to the south, opened by the Israeli military, a now daily exodus of the displaced. This is where so many end up, a squalid, tense city. There are fears of infectious diseases amid a daily struggle for food and water. Whole lives uprooted.
I don't know if I'm gonna live until tomorrow or not. I don't know if my cousin, my niece, my children, I don't know if anybody's gonna come out of this.
So this is life now, as those here wait for the war to end. A long wait for an uncertain future. Ellen Morrow, CBC News, Jerusalem.
Canada's Minister of Foreign Affairs says that more than 500 Canadians in Gaza have sought assistance getting out of the war zone. Today, just 32 Canadians made it over the border to Egypt.
We do not control neither who crosses and when.
In total, 107 have now managed to make it out of Gaza. Some are already arriving in Canada. This reunion at Toronto's Pearson Airport captured just this morning. Now to some breaking news tonight out of Edmonton. Police say a father and son have been killed in a targeted shooting. Investigators say the victims are 11 and 41 years old. They were shot near a gas station in the early afternoon and died at the scene. So far, no arrests have been made. The homicide unit is investigating. Air Canada's CEO is apologizing for the way some passengers with disabilities were treated. This comes after a number of those passengers spoke out and shared their stories with CBC News. As Ashley Burke tells us, the airline's apology came with a promise, too.
Ryan LaChance says he felt dehumanized and humiliated after Air Canada staff dropped him in the aisle.
They treat us like we're cargo, and they just left us off and on the plane the same way they do the luggage.
Now, a public apology.
We know that we've let those customers down, and for that we are truly, truly sorry.
Federal ministers summoned the airline to Ottawa after a series of CBC News stories about the treatment of passengers who use wheelchairs.
Not only do airlines, need to be held accountable, they need to a lot better.
A Marketplace hidden camera investigation captured Air Canada workers struggling to get Alessia DiVirgilio on board a plane.
I felt humiliated.
In another story, passenger Rodney Hodgins said he had to crawl down the aisle.
I'm just wondering what you personally think of hearing a story of someone having to drag themselves across an aircraft to get off.
I think my personal view reflects the view of everybody at Air Canada that it's not acceptable.
Air Canada said it's speeding ahead with changes.
We are investing in training for all of our colleagues that are involved with lifting customers into chairs on board aircraft, and also investing in even more equipment.
It also says passengers with accessibility needs will board first, and wheelchairs will be stored in the cabin when possible. Some say they'll believe it when they see it.
When I show up on a plane and I don't have to hold my breath, I'm wondering if I'm going to get dropped or my wheelchair is going to get damaged. I'll feel a lot better.
Disability advocate Mayan Ziv hopes it's the beginning of much more.
I think that Air Canada has violated the trust of disabled passengers, and it's going to take a lot more than promises and statements to prove that they can earn our loyalty as passengers.
So Ashley, the airline says it shared its plan with the ministers today, but that's not all it's promising.
Well, Adrian, the company says it will now invest in annual training for staff, and if someone's wheelchair or aid is stowed under the plane, it's created a new tracking system so they can see if it's on board, and if not, they say the plane won't take off. Ministers say they are meeting again next month with Air Canada to see if there's been change.
All right, Ashley Burke in Ottawa tonight. Thank you. New legislation is aimed at banning federally regulated employers from using replacement workers during strikes or lockouts.
This is the biggest thing to happen to collective bargaining in Canada in decades.
The law would apply to hundreds of thousands of workers in areas like transport, telecommunication, and ports. The government says it comes after extensive consultation with employees and employers. If passed, the new rules wouldn't come into effect for more than a year. Rosie and At Issue are going to look at why both the Liberals and the NDP are taking credit for the change and why it's happening now. That's coming up in about 20 minutes. As food banks across the country are under strain, there's one near Toronto that's decided to start turning away one group in particular. Ali Chiasson now with why they say they're singling out international students.
As demand rises, this food bank says it had to make choices.
We were kind of overwhelmed by how many groups were showing up day after day.
Situated in Brampton, a city with many international students, the St. Louis Outreach Centre started turning them away, citing the federal government's own rules.
To be eligible to study in Canada, you must prove that you have the funding to support yourself. If they're going to multiple food banks and they're hitting up the churches, this is now a matter of abuse.
But is it a matter of abuse, or is it a matter of need? To get a study permit, the Government of Canada requires students to have enough money to support themselves beyond tuition. But for most of the country, including Ontario, that number is $10,000 each year, or $833 a month.
It just feels like these food banks don't quite understand the crisis many of these students are in.
Students can work to supplement their income, but there are limits.
A lot of these students' financial situation was also based on them thinking they could work 20 hours a week, and they just cannot find work. So now the funds they had were running out.
Another food bank in the area says it never turns international students away. But the man who runs it is giving those that do the benefit of the doubt, saying they may be misinformed and trying to protect their supply. But he says something needs to change because they're seeing an influx of international students too.
On a weekly basis, we have 150 kids. It is challenging, it is growing, and it is growing at a pace we need to really look into that.
A matter made more pressing with so many now in the same situation. Ali Chiasson, CBC News, Brampton.
In Burnaby, BC, 11 teenagers were taken to hospital today after a school bus crashed into a house. Police say it collided with a car before jumping the curb. It was a near miss for this tenant.
The bus is on my bed. There's glass on my bed where I rest my head. If I was not at work, I probably would be dead right now.
None of the teenagers on the bus were seriously injured. Some cancer patients in southwestern Ontario are being forced to travel hours for treatment after multiple hospitals were hit by a cyber attack. Jennifer Lagrassa now with how long it could take to get their systems back up and running.
After months of chemotherapy for a rare type of Hodgkin's lymphoma, Cale McMurn was about to start radiation when he was told his care was moving hours away.
I'm basically leaving everything behind to go up to London for the treatment. And
McMurn is not alone. A ransomware attack on October 23rd hit all 5 hospitals in southwestern Ontario. Unable to access patient records and use some medical tools, they've been forced to cancel procedures and tests, putting patient care on hold.
In medicine and in specifically cancer treatment, early detection, early treatment is key.
The number of patients hasn't been made public, but some are now going to this Toronto hospital for radiation treatment.
We prefer patients not to travel if they have cancer, they're having side effects from treatment. It would be better to be closer to home.
Blue Water Health Hospital in Sarnia is the most impacted. It says all of its 267,000 patients dating back to 1992 have had highly sensitive healthcare information stolen.
We are doing our best also to restore our computer and digital systems.
Thousands of employee details, including social insurance numbers, have also been taken from hospitals in Chatham-Kent and Windsor. Cybercriminal group Dakeson took responsibility for the attack after the hospitals decided not to pay a ransom.
The first few weeks of trying to recover a healthcare environment from a ransomware attack and making the painful choice not to pay are absolutely hellish.
The hospitals say that they're rebuilding their systems from scratch. That could take until mid-December, and it could be months before they know whose data was taken. Jennifer Lagrassa, CBC News, Windsor.
Some food companies are cutting costs, but that's not the only thing they're cutting.
It's really an unknown, sneaky way to give you less for your money.
How they're making subtle changes to your groceries. City centers are struggling to recover as offices remain empty.
In the last 10 years, this is probably the worst I've seen it.
The new plans for their revival. And a little girl who took a big stand against garbage.
She littered and I'm very angry.
We're back in 2. As many Canadians make changes to keep costs down, so are the companies that make some of your favorite foods. They are swapping in cheaper ingredients. But as Sophia Harris shows us, the price you pay stays the same.
Granola. You might remember them from your youth. Quaker Dips granola bars.
Dipped in delicious real milk chocolate.
But the Dips bars are no longer covered in milk chocolate. Instead, it's a chocolatey coating with palm oil, and it's not real chocolate.
It appears that they've used palm oil to get similar texture and quality of the chocolate, but it doesn't meet the standard of identity in Canada.
Why do you think the company may have made this change?
It could be a cost-saving measure. So we know that cocoa ingredients tend to be more expensive than other products like vegetable oil, especially palm oil.
When food companies swap out ingredients for cheaper alternatives but don't lower the price, it's known as skimpflation.
It's really an unknown, sneaky way to give you less for your money.
The old and current Dips packaging look very similar, but only the old box says the bars are made with real milk chocolate.
The new package actually doesn't contain real milk chocolate anymore.
Some people who buy Dips bars didn't know about the change.
I think it's just a deception technique that they're looking for, getting a cheaper product out there. Are you going to buy this bar anymore?
Now that you've pointed this out, I probably won't.
I think because of inflation, we're seeing more examples of skimpflation.
This U.S.-based consumer advocate posts online apparent examples of skimpflation, like this wishbone salad dressing sold in U.S. stores and on Amazon in Canada.
The one on the left has more oil in it, so they took out some of the oil and they seemingly replaced it with water and salt. That saved them money.
Carbohydrates, protein.
Companies are required to list ingredients on food labels. This registered dietitian says they should also have to alert customers when they make recipe changes.
I think it comes down to clearly communicating to consumers so that they can make informed decisions.
The companies that make the bars and the salad dressing did not respond to requests for comment. Last month, the federal government said it will investigate skimpflation, but it has no action plan as of yet. Sophia Harris, CBC News, Toronto.
Some of Canada's biggest cities want Ottawa's help as they struggle to revitalize downtown cores that emptied out during the pandemic. Karen Paul shows us how they're trying to bring people back.
At this downtown Calgary cafe, the lunch rush isn't what it used to be.
I would be lying to say that business today in 2023
was, or is rather, as good as it was in the pre-pandemic era.
Between a crash in the oil and gas industry and COVID-19, there's a 30% vacancy rate in the nearby office towers.
In the last 10 years, this is probably the worst I've seen it on a Canada-wide basis.
In Winnipeg, more than 70 businesses have closed since the pandemic. With fewer office workers and emptier streets, issues of addictions and homelessness are ever more visible.
Dispatch to Delta 1. Are you available for a wellness check at the bus shelter?
Raising safety concerns from business leaders to residents to police.
Hey man, how's it going?
Prompting street patrols like this one.
Whether that's somebody living who needs a safe walk or somebody who's that at-risk population, wherever they might be, trying to get them help.
Advocates and business leaders are now asking Ottawa for help.
Requires a dedicated and purposeful allocation of funding.
Kate Fensky says it's time to find some solutions.
Workers absolutely play a key part in the downtown community, but we can't rely on workers alone. What is that new vision for downtown? It's about people that are here beyond the 9 to 5.
Calgary has approved a plan to repurpose empty buildings.
That's 17 total projects that will remove 2.3 million square feet of vacant space in the downtown and create 2,300 new homes.
In Winnipeg, big investments in new offices, condos, hotels, and eateries. There are also plans to renovate this mall into medical offices, apartments, and community space.
And just across the street, this former HBC building is being transformed into affordable housing and Indigenous governance and social services offices. The goal, to bring more people and life back into downtown. Karen Pauls, CBC News, Winnipeg.
An account of Canada's involvement in the war in Afghanistan has been published, but copies are limited.
It's disappointing. Our history deserves to be told.
The historian behind it on his decade-long fight to get it published. And Rosie's here with that issue. Hey, Rosie.
Hey, Adrian, tonight we're going to talk about the fight against climate change.
What we are doing is fighting climate change every day while we build a stronger economy.
Is the government doing enough to hit their climate targets, or is climate change taking a backseat to affordability? Chantal, Althea, and Andrew join me to talk about that and more.
Veterans of Canada's mission in Afghanistan want to know why it is so difficult to get their hands on the first in-depth history of their involvement in the war. Murray Brewster now with why, after years in the making, few will likely ever read it.
Afghanistan, inarguably Canada's longest and least understood war. A war within living memory. A war that divided Canadians.
I can understand the passion that the leader of the opposition and members of his party feel for Taliban prisoners. I just wish occasionally they show the same passion for Canadian soldiers.
A war understood more for what happened off the battlefield. Until now.
I basically set a schedule so I could be in theater about every 6 months for 1 to 2 months.
Sean Maloney exhaustively documented Canadian combat in Kandahar and elsewhere, facing the same bullets and bombs as soldiers. The result, a 3-volume history that captures the entire Canadian ground war in Afghanistan, quietly published last summer by a federal government printer with a disclaimer. The views expressed were entirely those of the author.
There are a number of people that tried to step in and interfere with my editorial prerogative.
His account of the war often pulls no punches, at times criticizing allies, questioning Canadian commanders, and government policy.
Another colonel will step in and say, I can't contradict an established Canadian position for political reasons. And I said, yes, I can. I have academic freedom on this and editorial control.
Those kinds of disputes held up publication of the history for almost a decade.
I found that extraordinarily disappointing, not fully understanding really what the causes were. And there was perhaps some jealousy from some other academics or military officers.
Only 1,600 copies, English and French, have been printed, making access difficult for Canadians and leaving soldiers wondering how they'll get a glimpse at their history.
It's disappointing. Our history deserves to be told, deserves to be in a proper historical context in a 3-volume set like it is. It deserves to be out in the public, in the libraries.
The Canadian Army declined an interview. In a statement, it denied suppressing the project, acknowledged the history may present uncomfortable truths, but would not say what specific concerns it had about the work it commissioned. Murray Brewster, CBC News, Ottawa.
CBC News will have special live coverage on Remembrance Day from the National War Memorial. That is Saturday, starting at 10 a.m. Eastern on CBC Television and CBC Gem. Now, let's break down the news shaping our world. It's Thursday, which means Rosie's here with At Issue.
At Issue this week, under pressure over climate change.
Will the Prime Minister once again cave and allow another carve-out on the carbon tax for farmers? Yes or no?
The Conservatives and the NDP keep pushing the Prime Minister to give more Canadians a carbon tax break.
Seeing the NDP vote with the Conservatives against a price on pollution is something that has disappointed millions of progressives across this country.
This as the government is called out for not doing enough to reduce emissions.
The Prime Minister has literally missed every single target he set on emissions.
Is the fight against climate change taking a back seat to affordability? Hi there, I'm Rosemary Barton here to break it all down tonight. Chantal Bear, Andrew Coyne, and Althea Raj. Good to see everybody. I'll start with you, Althea. We saw two motions this week calling for changes. One to get rid of the carbon tax on home heating, and the other around the GST. So obviously, opposition parties trying to keep the pressure on there. What did that tell you about whether this is ever going to go away for the Liberals, and whether their argument that they are dealing with climate change broadly is working?
I don't think it's going to go away because in order for them to actually make their target, they have to announce things that are, I would say, even more controversial, like capping the oil sands, for example, or introducing legislation that would basically bind the hands of a future government through contracts for difference, basically saying to large emitters, you've made investments because we told you that carbon price was going to increase. And, you know, if Pierre Poilievre's elected, well, he'll have to give you billions of dollars, at least millions of dollars, to make up for the fact that that system no longer exists. Right. So I don't think it's going to go away, but I think it's a reflection of the fact that the Liberal government has never really properly explained to Canadians how carbon pricing works. It has not told people for whom there is a federal backstop, so Ontario residents, for example, that you get a big check every few months. If this was a Conservative government, you can bet a lot of money that there would be a cabinet minister with a giant cardboard check making an announcement every few months, reminding you about all this money you're getting back in your pocket. They never invested, and right now, really, the clash is between two different visions. You have Conservatives who really do not believe that Canadians should be making sacrifices because it's just a drop in the bucket when it comes to global emissions. And you have Liberals who believe there is a moral responsibility and an economic opportunity, but they have never properly prosecuted that case. And I think that's why we are where we are.
Yeah, and it's interesting, Chantal, to see the NDP side with the Conservatives this week, because they, I think, are banking on the idea that the issue of cost of living is more in people's mind than climate change. Even though, as Althea points out, the carbon tax gives you a rebate, it's a very small contributor to the rate of inflation and all those things. So that to me is fascinating to see that they're willing to take that gamble too.
And I'm guessing they're reacting to Pierre Poilievre maybe making inroads in some of their seats, some of them in rural communities. But the problem is, I think it's kind of summed up in what Althea said. If you're going to tell Canadians it's moral responsibility and sacrifices, you're not going to win the day. It has to become a communications about you need to do this because that is how you will do better in the future. It's not. It reminds me of I'm going to say something really weird here. The debate over official bilingualism. You should be officially bilingual, learn French and English because that's what the country is about. No, you should learn French because it's going to bring you money at the end of the day. And the same is true of climate change. You need to transition because you don't have a choice. It's not your moral duty. It's not a sacrifice. It's reality, and it's going to hit you in the face.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that to both of your point, I don't know, Andrew, that I hear that argument being articulated in that way, in that clear way by Liberals. And I don't know how damaging that is as they go on and the Conservatives position themselves the way that they are.
Well, it's a hard case to make. You're talking about something that's happening over several decades.
Yeah, that's right.
Where the action involved requires 192 countries to all participate, and people can look around and see which countries are and which countries aren't. So it's a tough sell. But it is remarkable that we should be talking about hollowing out the carbon tax, or in Pierre Poilievre's case, scrapping it altogether, just in the same week when the Environment Commissioner has brought in this quite scathing report saying that we're nowhere near to hitting our targets. Not even the 40 to 45% that the government brought in 21, but even if you read the report carefully, even the 30 to 34% that the government claims they're on target for now, the projections are basically fantasy. They're based upon wildly optimistic assumptions. There's no timetables, there's no targets for each of the measures. It's all just basically people on a wish and a hope. So if we're nowhere near to meeting our targets and we're starting to take away one of the prime instruments for trying to reach those targets, well then one of two things is going to happen. Either we're just going to give up altogether and renege on our international commitments, which I guess some people would like to see us do, or we're going to make a desperate attempt to try and save face and avoid political embarrassment and pile on ever more expensive, costlier measures to try to reach these targets, things that cost 5, 6, 7, 8 times as much as the carbon tax. And I think neither of those are particularly appetizing ideas. Look, we have a real problem with growth in this country as it is. We're projecting growth to be at what, 1.6, 1.7%, leaving aside the carbon tax, when we've got an aging population, skyrocketing healthcare costs and all that. We can ill afford to be giving up more growth than we absolutely have to. The cost of a carbon tax we can maybe bear with that kind of really low growth. But if you're talking about these much more expensive subsidy and regulatory schemes, the studies I've seen indicate that you're basically talking about cutting the growth rate in half. We can't afford to do that.
Well, I'll say two things. Stephen Guilbeault says that they still can make those targets. That's provided they put all those things some of the things that Althea laid out there in place and quickly. And the second thing is when Pierre Poilievre was asked whether he could meet the targets, he didn't say anything. He didn't even say that he would commit to doing that. Althea.
Yeah.
He didn't say that he would even commit to leaving the price on carbon for large emitters, which I thought that was interesting. But I think Andrew raises an interesting point, and it's a point that doesn't just apply to carbon pricing and the government's climate change initiatives. The government has a real problem with follow-through. They make announcements and they do not deliver. It takes them years to get the regulations through, and they are running out of time. So if they do want to make a significant dent, if Justin Trudeau wants this to be part of his legacy, if he wants to bind the hands of a future government, possibly even another one of his governments, he needs to move faster than they have moved, and they are running out of time.
Chantal.
So this is the way that I believe from the outside that the government's thinking is at. And it is at, yes, we're backing off, we're sending weird signals on our climate change policy, but better us being re-elected than them who will do nothing. I can understand the rationale, but it does not make for strong policy. It is, again, like Brian Mulroney saying, let's not do free trade until we're re-elected, and then until we're re-elected and re-elected again. But basically, the message over the past 2 weeks has been that no party, the NDP, the Liberals, or the Conservatives, are serious about climate change.
Can I just add one thing?
Go ahead, Althea. Yeah.
It represents, and we haven't really talked about this, but a real division within the cabinet table. And how the government responds in the next few months will tell us which side has won.
Andrew.
And if nobody's serious about it, then maybe it's time we admitted that. If the cost of hitting these targets is because we're not willing to do it by carbon pricing, if the cost is we have to do it with absurdly expensive mechanisms, then I'd rather we didn't hit our targets. The world will not end if we don't hit our targets. But if we lock ourselves into permanently much more expensive measures that are going to really reduce our growth rate, I don't think that's a cost worth paying.
So some people might say the world will. Some people might say the world will end, not by 2030, but that's the whole point of why you have to act now.
Not depending on what Canada does.
Okay.
You know, that's where the critics are right. We are one part. We should do our part.
Yeah.
But the world is not going to end, it's not going to depend on whether we hit our targets or not. We should try to do so, but we should try to do so at acceptable cost.
And Chantal, do you think that Canadians still, from what you've seen, care about climate change given everything that they're dealing with financially and economically? And is that what this conversation has shifted to?
Yes and no. I do believe that Canadians are still concerned about climate change, and even if they were not, it's staring them in the face with every 2 months with things that are climate change induced.
Yeah.
Andrew is right about the fact that if we just stand down and ignore it, it's not going to make a huge difference. But at some point, economics will dictate that we pay attention, and that's the main room for optimism for climate change activists, is that it's going to exact a toll on your capacity to have a strong economy if you become one of those climate change, not deniers, but ignorers.
Yeah, okay. We're going to leave it there. When we return, we'll take a look at a new bill to ban replacement workers.
This is about giving power to workers, taking away power from greedy CEOs and making sure workers can fight to get a fair share of the profits.
Will this help labor negotiations, and who deserves the credit? That's next. In a year of labor unrest, new legislation to ban replacement workers during strikes and lockouts. The Liberals say it was a platform promise. The NDP says it only happened because of them.
The Liberals would never have done this. They would have never tabled this legislation, but for the fact that New Democrats and Labor together fought to make this happen.
So how could this new legislation affect labor disputes in this country? Who does get the credit? Let's bring back Chantal, Andrew, and Althea. Andrew, why don't you start us off on this one? We've seen a lot of labor disputes this year, certainly. How significant do you think this piece of legislation is, or is this just about keeping the NDP happy?
Yeah, I mean, as the Liberals go down in the polls, the price of NDP cooperation goes up. They had, it is true, put in their platform that they would bring in this measure with regard to lockouts in a bid to try and appeal to NDP voters, but now they've included strikes as well. So a union can go on strike, and basically management has to negotiate with one arm tied behind its back. I don't see the injustice that's being righted here. I don't see an imbalance being made more balanced. I see this unbalancing the system. I think business is going to have lots of things to say about this in the weeks to come. But it doesn't seem to me to be, it seems to me to be a solution, in search of a problem. And I think it's much more about politics than anything else.
Chantal?
Well, Quebec has had anti-scab legislation, as it's called, for decades. And labor negotiations still take place in much the normal way outside Quebec. The NDP had been calling for this for decades, so have the Bloc. They sure brought in, we were reminded today, 11 pieces of legislation to bring this out. So clearly this is a result of the Liberals, notwithstanding their platform, doing what they need to do to satisfy the NDP, and at a time when their pact with the NDP is fragile, to time it with something that looks like a win. And it is a win, I guess, from big labor perspective. It is considered a win. I can't remember, and I'm sure you're like me, a time when the NDP or the Bloc were not calling for it.
I can't believe how effusive NDP MPs were on Parliament Hill today, according to my colleagues who were up there. They were overjoyed that they had this win, Althea.
Yeah, it was described to me as a generational project for the NDP. And you kind of heard that from Alexandre Boulris, who was a union activist before he entered politics. He's the lone NDP MP from Quebec. But aside from the fact that the NDP and the Bloc and the Liberals are all claiming credit, what this bill is also possibly a wedge issue with the Conservatives, which makes the NDP incredibly happy because the Conservatives have been making inroads with unionized workers, support with unionized workers, whether they're private or public, which from public or private unions. And this is a reminder to all these people that if Mr. Poilievre decides not to support this piece of legislation, this is a continuation of his positions when he was in the Harper government against Bill 525, which and 377, bills that made it harder for unions to mobilize, bills that drowned them in red tape, and that even at the time he spoke in favor of right-to-work legislation that would have been a huge, huge blow to the union movement. So it is, there is a reason why New Democrats are celebrating today, and there's also, I believe, a reason why we did not hear from the Conservatives today.
Yeah, you have a much better memory than I do, because I wouldn't have remembered the numbers of those bills, although I remember it happening. Andrew, yeah, it's a wedge issue, and that's an awfully good point for sure. But if everyone's trying to claim it as a wedge issue, I'm not sure who gets to benefit from it, or if everybody does. I don't know.
Yeah, and I'm not entirely sure the Conservatives are all that unhappy to see polarized on this, because they will be owning the share that is opposed to this. And as you say, the people who are in favor will be divided between the Liberals and the NDP. I'll just note, by the way, that they thoughtfully exempted themselves from this provision. So while they're imposing this requirement on private sector employers, it will not apply in the federal public service.
Well, that's because if there's an emergency, you need them to do things. Isn't that the reason? I think so.
No, there's exemptions anyway for threats to health, et cetera.
Right, okay.
This is just a blanket exemption for the federal public service.
Chantal.
Andrew is right on this, but the notion that the Conservatives under Stephen Harper were anti-labor certainly hurt the Conservatives. And I do believe it doesn't really matter who wins today. What matters is who stands to lose.
Yeah.
And the Bloc, the NDP, and the Liberals have a common goal here to make sure that whoever loses is Pierre Poilievre.
Okay, so let me, I guess, end on this then. Althea, is this bill enough to keep the NDP happy for a while?
It's enough to keep them happy for now. I mean, who knows what's going to happen when the House returns in the winter. So I don't know. And this is the thing with the NDP. They keep moving the yardsticks, as they should, because they're in the driver's seat.
They can keep moving the yardsticks, but again this week I heard Jagmeet Singh go out and attack the Liberals and the Conservatives, he now calls them the corporate coalition. And I just wonder at what point moving the yardsticks becomes an issue for the NDP and for the Liberals. At what point this pact no longer works, Chantal?
Yes, but the day that the NDP says it's done with supporting the Liberals does not mean Parliament ends. It means the Bloc gains the balance of power. It's not as if the NDP owns it, except by virtue of that pact. So, and I've seen no indication that Yves-François Blanchet, the Bloc leader, is in a hurry to go in an election.
Yeah, or that anybody.
It's kind of a lose-lose for the NDP. They walk away from the pact, they become the fourth party again.
Okay, I'll leave it there.
But
go ahead, Andrew.
While they're in the pact, they might as well wring everything they can out of the Liberals. I actually think they're in a good position that the Liberals are so desperate that they're going to be willing to give them just about anything.
Okay, I'll leave it there for this week. Thank you all very much. And with that, I'll throw things back to Adrienne. She's in Toronto.
Thank you, Rosie. Next, a 7-year-old who is really serious about people who litter.
That's the plastic cup, and she just puts it there and then drives off and does not care.
Her strongly worded letter in our moment. Oh, look out, litterbugs. Windsor, Ontario's Gloria Wright has her eye on you. She's only 7 years old, but she knows the power of a pencil and paper. So when she saw someone littering in her neighborhood, Gloria wrote a strongly worded letter that got the attention of her counselor. And this small but mighty example of civic engagement is our moment.
She littered and I'm very angry. So I saw somebody run to their car. They had a cup in their hand, and then they put the cup under their car, and then they drove off, and I was furious.
Show me the look on your face. So what did you do after you saw her do this?
I wrote it down.
Read it for us.
Person littering under their car does not care, then drives off. Fact, littering has a high potential of ruining the environment. Thank you for your patience. To the well-known government, from architecture pro Val's daughter Gloria. I'm not the best artist, but that's the plastic cup, and she just puts it there and then drives off and does not care. Don't litter. Shame on you.
You know that town councillor has seen your letter and has responded to it. Does it feel good?
Yeah, I like that people responded and actually cared about it. It feels good.
Oh, you go, Gloria. So, thing is, she says she's extremely mad because it was a plastic cup. Had it been a paper cup, she still would have been mad, but not quite as furious. And here's the thing, that led to what is likely going to be a neighborhood cleanup. So you go get them, Gloria. From all of us at The National, thank you for being with us. You can watch anywhere, anytime on the free CBC News app and subscribe to The National's YouTube channel. I'm Adrienne Arsenault.